everyone, welcome back, and today we're diving into some essential Linux basics, whether you're new to Linux or brushing up your skill. This video will walk you through two important topics. First, file and directory operations, and second, Linux links, both hard links and soft links. So in the first part of the video, I'll walk you through the most essential file and directory operations in Linux, from creating and navigating files to editing, deleting, copying, and moving. So let us dive right in. So to create an empty file, we use the touch command. So in here I create a file named text.txt, and let's check it out by using ls command. So you can see the text, the file text in here. So now I'm going to create a directory. So to create a directory, we use the command makedir. So I create a directory named abc, or we can use the command makedir./abc at the same. And let's check the directory whether it has or not. So you can see the blue text here. It's mean directory. We have directory abc here. So now I'm going to make another directory name, and I name it my directory. So I can create multiple directories, like just use one command, one line. So this command will create multiple directory from my directory 1 until my directory 3. So we command ls. So now we see my directory from number 1 until number 3. So this means that you can create multiple directories just in one line. So I'm going to check the content in the file by using the command cat. So we use this command to check what's in the file. So in here we don't have anything in our text file, that's why it doesn't show anything. We can also navigate through directory by using the command cd. So when I cd into my dir1, you can see that the command prompt of mine changed from home directory to my dir1 directory. So now I navigate back to my home directory. So you can see that my file doesn't have any content in it. So how can I write, or how can I add content into my file? Now let's talk about the text editors. So Linux has several text editors, but today I'll focus on the most common ones, which are vi, and nano. So vi is the default and recommended one, so it has several commands that we commonly use, and vi is an improved version of vi with extra features, whereas nano is a simple and beginner-friendly text editor. So the next step, I'll show you how to work with vi commands to insert text, to delete, to undo, to save your text, and exit without saving. So after we save the text we add into our file, so now let's check. So this is the last text that we adding into our file. You can see it here. So next we're going to talk about how to remove file and directories. So we use rm command to remove file, and I'm removing the remove file that I have just created. So you can see here, before remove they will ask us a message whether we really want to remove it or not. So this command that I'm using right here, also the command we use to remove the file, but this is interactive delete with verbose, meaning that it will ask us before we remove a file, but by default it will still ask us even though we don't use IV. And if you don't want it to ask you anything, just use RMF. So it means that force delete without confirmations. It means that it won't ask you anything if you just remove your file directly. So here we get to know how to remove directories. So it's not really different from how to remove file. It's also the same. You just add or after rm. So adding or here meaning that you are deleting directory. So if you doesn't add or d after rm, so you cannot delete that directory or delete your directory. So our second part, we're going to talk about links. So before I get into the type of the links, I'm going to introduce you to inode. Inode is like a package of information that the system uses to track that file. So the inode contains things like the file size, owner, permissions, and even the number of links to that file. So however, it doesn't store the file's name or contents, just the metadata. So we're going to use the concept to understand how hard and soft link works. And to check the inode number of each file and directories, we use the command ls-ia to I as mean inode, so to check the each file and directory inode number. So now let's talk about hard links. A hard link is like creating a clone of your file, but there's the interesting part, it doesn't create a new file. It just points to the same inode as the original file. So in other words, both files share the same data. It's like having two names for the same person. So after this, we're going to create a hard link and see this in action. So to create a hard link, we use this command by our original file, and then we just create a hard link. So I name the hard link file hardlink.txt, so it's easy to explain and to you guys, and you guys easy to understand too. So let's check the inode number again, and you can see here that both our original file and the hard link file have the same inode. So in here I display a text to our original file, and I want to know, when I check the hard link, is there any changes of being there? So here when I check the hard link file, they both have the same content or contain the same data. So this is because both files are really the same. They just have different names, but they point to the same data. Even if I delete the original file, the hard link will still work. See, now our original file is deleted, but the data is still there in our hard link file, and our hard link file is still there. Now let's talk about soft links. We can call it symbolic link. So soft link is more like a shortcut or an alias. So instead of pointing to the actual data, it just points to the file name and path. So this means that if you delete the original file, the soft link will break. Here I'm creating a soft link called softlink.txt, which is a soft link file that points to hard link, my hard link file. So when I open it, it shows the same data because it's pointing to a valid file. Now if I delete the file that the soft link points to, so watch what happens. So the soft link is broken because it reaches a shortcut to the file names, and that file no longer exists if it can't point to anything, to its own original file. So to recap, hard links are like creating a second name for the same file, and they keep working even if the original file is deleted. Soft links, on the other hand, are shortcuts that rely on the original file. If the original is gone, the soft link will break. So I hope this helped you understand the difference between hard link and soft link. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned something from this video. Thank you.